What's going on, dude? Welcome back to the vault. It's your boy, MC Webslinger Titties. And the review I will be doing today is for Spider-Man No Way Home. Before we jump straight into it, obviously, pre-warning, there will be massive spoilers for this film. So if you haven't seen it yet, then now's your chance to click off. Because I won't be giving any more warnings before revealing the spoilers. So having said that, this one opens with a quick recap of the end of the previous film where Peter is outed as Spider-Man before Peter and MJ are accosted and then swing off with one another. Really fun cast for this one. Tom Holland reprises his role as the web slinger, but I don't think this will be the last time. He is once again joined by the likes of Jon Favreau, Marissa Tomei, Zendaya, and Jacob Batalon. All of these are joined by the acting powerhouses Alfred Molina, Willem Dafoe, and Jamie Foxx. We also see the return of Thomas Hayden Church as Sandman and Rhys Ifans as the Lizard, with Benedict Cumberbatch being one of the new additions as Doctor Strange. So, spoilers now again. So, click off if you haven't seen it. It was honestly so great to see Tobey Maguire and Andrew Garfield back in their suits, swinging around with Tom Holland. It brought the nostalgia just crashing over me. I mean, I grew up with Tobey Maguire as my Spider-Man, so to see him back in the suit was absolutely awesome. So, the story for this one carries on directly after where the second film left off. Then it's a week later and we see Peter struggling with being a pariah as Spider-Man. When it begins to affect the people he cares about and loves, he turns to Doctor Strange in order to fix things. This film is honestly pretty fun and humorous. It also feels like the stakes are even higher with the introduction of Garfield's and Maguire's villains. The film does pace nicely, and there are a couple points where it dips ever so slightly, but it's not really noticeable. This is also just a really funny script, whether it's the chemistry between Peter and his friends or the banter with the other two Spider-Men, who in one funny scene have all stood in a circle bigging each other up. The script also has quite an emotional punch to it, with the death of Aunt May and then Garfield's Spider-Man redeeming himself by saving Holland's MJ. Just lots of tears flow throughout this film, and it's just really lovely. It's also really great that the three Spider-Men get like a couple scenes to really kind of bounce off one another, and just kind of be around each other. I really appreciated that. The action sequences, much like the script, are also lots of fun. It's honestly great seeing Tom Holland face off against these villains all at once. It's even more awesome seeing the three of them work as a team and take these villains down together. Shots of Holland swinging around are also many and gorgeous, especially the shot of him swinging through a forest as the sun goes down behind him just before he faces off against Sandman and Electro. It was very reminiscent of Into the Spider-Verse, which I really appreciated. The action for the most part is nothing really new that we've ever seen. Is quite standard for a Spider-Man film, but it's still great to see all three of them swinging around with each other in that final confrontation. The soundtrack also has no business being as awesome as it is. Michael Giacchino provides the score and gives us an operatic, orchestral and exciting tone throughout the film. Giacchino also expertly melds together the three separate themes of the individual Spider-Men. I got chills down my spine when I heard those familiar notes of Maguire's theme, even more so when that rolled over into Garfield's and then Holland's. Giacchino is a super talented composer, so I'm glad he'll get more notoriety from this. The only thing I really learned from this was that organic webs are the best, although I'm not sure if I did have organic webs shooting out of my wrist that they wouldn't shoot out of other areas, but there we go. There we have it, guys. There's my review for Spider-Man No Way Home. As always, let's just jump into the two most important questions. Question number one, would I recommend this film? I don't think it really matters if I'd recommend this film or not, because people are still going to go watch this film in their droves. My work in particular last night was just packed full of people. In a 2-hour span, we had over 1,000 people coming in to watch this film. So whether I recommend it or not, I would recommend it. I would, but people are still going to go watch it whether I recommend it or not. So that question is kind of null and void. Question number two, does this film belong in the vault? For the most part, I really enjoyed this film. The nostalgia is strong, but that's all this film has going for it. Nostalgia and fan service. Those things aren't necessarily bad, but when the fight scenes and the entrance of the other two iconic Spider-Men are so underwhelming, then it becomes hard to appreciate the film for just those two things. I mean, I really wanted to love this film as much as other people are loving it at the moment, as much as other people that I work with are loving it at the moment. But like I said, the entrance of Maguire's and Garfield Spider-Man are just really underwhelming. Rather than them swinging in to save Peter, from the villains, they just end up coming through portals into Ned's grandma's living room, and that just felt very anticlimactic. It felt like humour. It felt like an awesome entrance for the two of them was sacrificed in order for a bit of humour, which I didn't really appreciate. These are two iconic Spider-Men in their own rights. Give them a grand entrance. But, and that as well with the kind of lackluster final confrontation. And I also felt that we pretty much saw all of the great action sequences in the trailers. And also Sinister Six, more like Sinister Five. Sony have had, been trying for years to have the Sinister Six in a Spider-Man film, and they had the chance with this film, but completely botched it. There was no sixth member. I was wholly expecting it to be Venom, but he was literally wasted in a post-credit scene. So I'm not sure what they were doing with just five members of the Sinister Six. So that was very, very disappointing. So as to if this film belongs in the vault, I really did want to not put this film in the vault, but then whilst I was at work yesterday doing screen checks on this film, I tried to time it so I'd go in when Toby and Andrew would show up, and every single check and every single time that I did that, people were cheering and hollering, and it really just kind of sent shivers down my spine. It made me feel really, really good inside. And I did enjoy this film for what it was. It is fan service. It is nostalgia. So I did enjoy it for that. So for those reasons, there's that little diamond star that's gone off, followed by a song from Chad Kroeger. I was really expecting to hear that in this film, but I didn't, so I'm disappointed as well. But there we have it, guys. There's my review for No Way Home. As always, if you've seen it, you loved it, let me know what you loved down in the comments below. If you've seen it and you hated it, let me know what you hated down in the comments below. I've also spoke to a couple of people who said they found it a little bit underwhelming as well. But as always, guys, if you like what I'm doing here, please don't forget to like, subscribe, share this video with your friends, your pets, your families, your friendly neighborhood Spider-Men. So until the next one, peace and love, my dudes.